I'm building a log cabin and I have 2 days before winter storm comes, covers the area in snow. So that means I have 2 days to make a quick shelter to survive this snowstorm. Will we be able to do it? I have no idea, but it doesn't hurt to try. And I ain't ready for this one. It's gonna be a busy day. It's gonna be cold too. Hello, hope you're doing well. This is a new thing I'm gonna be trying. It's gonna be me narrating over the clips as they go along. So pretty much I'm watching it live as you are watching it. Anyways, I go to the old cabin that I built many moons ago. I wonder if these pickles are still good. As you can see, everything in this cabin has pretty much dilapidated. The supports are rotting and falling apart. This is no good, and this cabin will collapse if there's any heavy amount of snow that falls on it. So we have to go ahead and take it down. Now, believe it or not, this cinder block is the only thing that was holding this roof on. Now, the reason it was able to stay on for so long without being nailed in is because this cabin was built in a forest. Now, in a forest, any winds or gusts are going to be heavily slowed down by the amount of trees. And for that reason, we're able to have a very simple and unnailed down roof. Making quick work of this cabin, surprisingly. I mean, it wasn't built the best. And I guess that's a good thing, because I'm able to tear it down in a jiffy. But yeah, we're tearing this shed down piece by piece. Slowly but surely, we are getting it done. I get out the axe handle because I'm just trying to get this sucker off. So I start whacking and smacking. Slowly but surely, I break it apart. I was actually going to use this piece, and I kind of messed it up. I got to be more careful next time. I'll keep that noted, alright? Let's go ahead and try to piece it down a little bit more. I'm kind of destroying everything when I do this. I'm in a time crunch, so I'm not being as careful as I could. See how rotted these beams are? Holy crap. Look at how those fell. It's kind of cool. It's like a logo. Maybe I should make that a logo. Would y'all buy my merch if I made that a logo? It literally fell like. Is that cool for CT logo? Now we continue on. And we're disassembling the walls now. We gotta disassemble it because I don't know any other way to transport the secured walls as they are. So we gotta take them apart, put them in a little pile, and take them to Big John and transport it to the new site. The nice thing about using nails is I can just pry stuff off. It's very simple. Screws, they're brittle, and they fasten really well. So I feel like it'd be a bit more of a struggle to take screws out. We get the old door frame out. It's a nice door. We get the old cot. We got to take that too because we need something to stay on. And we're going to go ahead and take all the furniture away. finally get the last wall to come down and we can finally disassemble it. This old plywood is plywood that my dad got from a project, a work project, or a work site. He's an architect, and he's up in Dallas, Texas a lot. Sometimes his job sites, they'll have extra materials. So this plywood we got for absolutely free. This door frame, I have no idea where it came from. Potentially another job site, but I found it in the barn. Get out some manila rope. We're going to go ahead and try to tie it together, and hopefully it will stay for the trip, but there's no telling with this. Use a 3-point attachment to try to lift it up, but we didn't tie it tight enough. There's too much slack, so we tried it again, and we actually got it to leverage up a decent bit. Then we start tugging away at it, and we're going to the new side. I even set my expensive camera on this. I was a lot of trust in that. I don't know why I did that. When I was going to the shed to disassemble it, I started up Big John, and I didn't notice how low pressure the front tire was. So it lost pressure when I started driving, and it popped out. So I was driving on a flat tire, and I finally went and I found an old Ford 8N we have, and I got its tractor tire and threw it on Big John. It was the only wheel that had 7 lug nuts. All the rest were like 6, 8, but you know, the old Ford 8N actually had 7 lug nuts, and it fit right on Big John. So we got her a new shoe. Let's go ahead and try it out, see how it works. I'm surprised it's holding pressure. It's been many, many years. Now we can go continue to collect the cable. Now this is an old log depot I made about 7 years ago when I first had ambitions to build a log cabin. I was a freshman in high school. I believe 15 years old. I went out into the woods. That's where I really learned how to swing an axe and saw. And I chopped down about 20, 25, maybe 30 of these smaller cedar trees. Now they're actually going to have a use. Now, the reason I never built a cabin out of these is I guess I lost motivation. I was being too specific on how I wanted to build this cabin. I wanted it to be like super good, and I just kept on thinking like, oh, it's got to be perfect, and I never ended up building it. Anyways, as you can see, that first idea did not work at all, so pretty frustrating. I'm gonna have to move these logs back onto the chain, and we're gonna have to try it again. I'm just glad now that these logs are actually going to have a good use for them. And another thing that's crazy that you can think about is these are eastern red cedar. These have been outside for 7 years, and there's hardly any rot. The only rot on these are the ones that actually were in contact with the ground. The rest are still solid as can be. Now this is a better method where I used manila rope that has friction to tie each individual log. This method worked quite a bit better and saved me the headache of trying to move these logs. Just tie the ends up and we're good to go. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and start on the base. I picked the side that's kind of away from the main log cabin that we're building, but still in a very accessible area. Now, I am doing this quick. These measurements are not the best.
Fuck off!
I keep having issues just trying to get all the measurements right, but
Close enough.
in the end, we get it something, like I said, close enough. I'll go ahead and rake out the leaves to try to get a better idea of the perimeter. Now let's do something with all this wood. Now I want to make a See, the last shed I had, the last little cabin I had, it had a ground floor, a dirt floor. My pup came and visited me. He's very cute. His name is Anzac. Anyways, the last shed I had just had a dirt floor. I wanted to make something that cost me no money at all, but could elevate me off the dirt floor. I didn't like having a dirt floor. I couldn't really take my shoes off without my feet getting dirty. And I feel like this would just be a lot better. Also, I'd see moles like dig through. You see their little mole tunnels in the ground when I had the cabin that had no floor. So this should be a much more appropriate and a much better floor shed. Quite a bit of trimming down to get it to the size we want, but it'll be all worth it in the end. Better to pace yourself when sawing. I'm rushing. But eventually we get it done and we lead on into the night. We're going to be charring these logs. The reason we're going to be charring them is so they have better rot resistant, because these are in direct contact to the ground. So we want to get them to last as long as possible. So for many hours in the night, I started this fire with a bit of the help of diesel fuel, and we really got these logs to char well. It was a very peaceful process, sitting out there and hearing the stillness of the night and slowly charring these logs one by one. You can see the pile of logs I'm slowly building up. One by one we're getting through it. But I'm reaching very late into the night at this point. It's very cold and tiring, but I push on in order to prepare for the storm. It was now the next day, and today we're going to be coating each log we charred last night with used motor oil. This is going to add an extra layer of waterproofness, bug resistance, and rot resistance. I saw methods for using pine tar as well, but that would take much too long to procure. So instead we just used some old motor oil and it worked very well. I really didn't have to use that much motor oil. Maybe this was 1.5 oil changes right here worth of oil. Now we can actually start putting in the first post. We use a post hole digger to dig about 1.5 to 2 feet down maybe even 3 foot. I forgot honestly, but it was pretty deep, deeper than I'd usually dig a post hole. This is one heavy log.
Big son of a bitch. Ouch. Ah! Oh shit.
Didn't dig it deep enough the first time, so we're coming back in. Digging it wider and deeper this time.
Son of a bitch. Damn big, huh?
Now we're really gonna start throwing it together. Finally, we're starting to get somewhere. We're going to start layering up the walls at this point. Putting that old plywood to good use. Not a lot of measurements going in on this process, but it's working together. Mainly just eyeballing it, just working out. Now this area is going to be where I have a little window, so we're using smaller pieces of misfit plywood to layer it up. If you see any of the items that I'm wearing and you were interested in getting them for yourself, I actually recently started a website. Links will be in the description. On this website I pretty much list all the stuff that I use. A lot of it's from Amazon, and other stuff I'm still working on putting on my website. But for the most part, you should be able to find the stuff that I use on there. I have a great disdain for plastic. I try to avoid using plastic any chance I get. So the products I list are mostly plastic free. I like quality products, well-made products, and plastic has always just been cheap and undesirable to me. Kind of messed up the measurements there, so I had to take it down and restart. It's really starting to look like something. Pretty happy with what we were able to get done as quickly as we were able to. Now I just gotta continue on and get it right. The night has come. Let's see what kind of work we can do on this cabin. Fire is great, it keeps me warm at night and boosts my morale to finish this. It's gonna be a long night. I have an old oil lantern powered off kerosene. Got it from the old cabin. We're gonna go ahead and put it up. See if we can help out with the lighting a little bit. It's not the greatest though. We secure the boards a little bit better, add some extra nails. Then we're going to go ahead and throw up the walls. I have to keep adding diesel fuel to the fire because it's just simply not bright enough. But slowly, piece by piece, we're adding more to the cabin. But I definitely need a better solution for lighting. It's getting hard to see where the nail's going. And I'm running low on diesel fuel. So I pull out the carbide lantern headlamp. That combined with the diesel fuel helped out quite a bit. I'm going to be honest, the carbide was not burning too well in the beginning, but I got it to run a lot better. And now you'll be impressed.
Going
just
great
how
so
bright.
far. I'm gonna work a few more hours tonight and see if we can't get it done by at least early morning. And early mornings when the storm starts. So
The carbide lantern has an impressive amount of lighting. It's almost on par with modern day LED headlamps.
Damn it, you're so fat!
I had to widen the hole a little bit more.
I was gonna die. Fatty. Big back ass.
Finally put the
There we go.
bowl in.
Let's see if the other one fits.
All is going good. Cooking up some food to keep morale high and keep me fed. I'm getting hungry out here. Just a little bit of sausage and chili is all it was. But it really was good and enjoyable next to the fire. Now the tedious part of sawing off the ends.
So tired.
Wearing out. This is very frustrating. My body feels very tired at this point.
Come on, son of a bitch. Just do it.
I'm just trying to push on through the night. I believe it's around 2, 3 p.m. at this point. The storm is approaching soon.
God.
Finally, it comes down.
Oh, that took long enough.
Now it's time for the roof. Body is very strained at this point. Push on. Finally, at around 3:30 p.m., we put the roof on and it was somewhat ready to survive the storm. This is the supposed snowstorm that hit, and it was really not much of anything. Obviously today was a letdown. I thought it was going to be very stormy today. It's going to be like a snowstorm, but it just wasn't the case. It just rained, frosty rain today. That's all we had. So pretty much the next steps I'm gonna do is put the floor in and tidy it up, seal all the holes and add some insulation to it. That'll be great. So impressed we got this all assembled pretty much in one day. It's kind of crazy. We are over here grabbing some more tin. So we're gonna add more tin to the roof. One of the pieces of tin I got had holes just like this one. so it always leaked. So I'm gonna make sure I get tin with no holes on it this time, so we won't have the same problem, hopefully. We'll see how this works. I don't know, I had to lift it up, of course, to get it over the steering wheel, and then I got it all jerry-rigged up to this, so it's definitely an interesting setup. It's quite a bumpy ride, but keep on driving. We gotta go pick up some wood. We're gonna salvage this wood. This was an old tree house that fell to the ground about 10 years ago. All the wood was slowly rotting away, so decided to put it to some good use. There we go, that looks good. Should do well. Now we're just gonna have to cut it into pieces and fit it inside. I also had to change the orientation of these bottom logs so it would work with the wood that we have available, the wood flooring. Kidding me?
God damn it.
Didn't all quite fit up right, but we just had to adjust it, kind of wedge it in there, and it worked out right. Mainly didn't fit because the cabin is doesn't have the most consistent measurements all the way across. Kind of tapers in a little bit on that side. Right now I'm just trying to fit them all to be somewhat even. As you can see, the floor actually works out quite nice. Now all we have to do is trim it down. Starting to become something. It's making me happy. We're going to go ahead and fill in the floor with these cedar leaves. It's going to act as a sort of insulation. And also, bugs don't like the aroma of cedar, so it'll kind of prevent bugs from getting into the wood. But rodents, I don't know. Probably going to have a few pets under my floor when it becomes warmer. But for now, it should work out. In the future, I might replace it with pine needles. I think that might be a better alternative. Cedar is kind of flammable. It's once it's dried out, it can ignite pretty quickly. Even when it's wet, I've seen it ignite, just burst into flames if it gets too hot. That was a bad experience during the winter camp of 2021 when it snowed in Texas. Me and Corbin had a cedar leaf just explode because it was close to the fire. But for now, this should act as a great insulation and help keep me warm. getting quite thick, full of cedar leaves. It's like a cedar mattress we got going on right now. Pretty proud of what we've done so far. It's gonna turn out nicely. This looks great so far. I got all the cedar branches packed down for the insulation, and I got the boards here. Just gotta trim the rest of them and then slide them in here, and we'll have a quick and easy floor. This is crazy how easy it was to make this floor. Awesome, it works great. So yeah, a great little floor we got. It's a long process of slapping each board in. It's not too bad though. I just have to carry each one in. I get it over pretty quickly. You know what? I'm impressed. Man, this whole thing's oh god. I'm gonna be honest, I am thoroughly impressed by the this floor. It cost me nothing. For a floor that was made out of scrap wood, I think it looks really good. It cost me nothing. It was easy to build. Granted, it is not the best, it's not nailed in, it doesn't have the craziest insulation, but I made it quick and I made it very cheap. So I'd call that a success in my book. Take a look at that floor, isn't that crazy? That is like a rustic barnwood floor. That looks great. I'm impressed. It's not the most level, but it's pretty close. I'd call that a success, fellas. Now my plan is to go ahead and tidy everything up, make sure everything's fastened down and secured properly so we can turn this into a nice place we can stay in while we work on the big log cabin. Now we're going to go ahead and add some insulation. We're going to be using wool blankets. We're going to be nailing it to the walls. This is going to create an extra barrier between inside and outside. Now historically this has been done between explorers, fur traders, trappers, pioneersmen. It was pretty common back in the day. They're like wall blankets. Now how this works is just adds an extra layer. Wool is great for insulation, so it just traps warm air inside. Look at that. Screw out, or just take the nail out. Put the nail back in, wiggle it in there, bam, all that cold out. Just a quick solution to insulate the windows as well. When I don't need them, I can just block them up and keep extra heat inside. I think it was a great solution. It worked well. I can do this on every window I need, and it's just quick, simple, and easy. Like that, we got another window sealed up. Then we finish up with the doors and the other side of the wall. I'm surprised I had enough wool blankets to do this. I had more than I thought. I think I had about 10 wool blankets, so I covered every single wall. We still had extra wool blankets to spare. Just like that, we got a mostly insulated wall. Now I'm adding rubber blankets to each of the windows. It's going to help keep heat in, as well as adding a waterproofing barrier, keep water out. Rubber blankets are great for that. And now we're moving everything inside. So we get the cot, the chair, all that stuff, because we got to furnish it a little bit now. I haven't opened this cot since, I'd say, the second expedition, so it's been almost 2 years. But the rubber blanket kept the wood cot all nice and neat, so let's go ahead and put it up. It's looking great. The floor is a bit not level, but you know what? It's fine. Holy fuck, this cabin. But hey. Look, it works. It all works out. Got ourselves a nice little seat. We're gonna go ahead and put all the tools inside to keep them out of the weather. This This is great because I don't have to ferry tools back and forth from the cabin site. Now all the tools are at the cabin site. Let's go ahead and cook some dinner and wrap up the night. Just threw some chili on. And I'm going to have myself a nice cigar. The smell of the beeswax candle and cigar smoke is a very nice combination. However, it's still pretty cold in this cabin. I need to add a heating element to it. Chili's warming up from the sad iron heater. Finally got to a good temperature. I'm just enjoying my cigar and chili. I'd say overall we did good on this cabin. I'm impressed how quickly we got it done. And now we have a good place to stay and store tools.
I'm gonna hold the candle in front of me so you can see my face. But we got the small cabin built quickly. We got a floor. This used to not have a floor, so the floor is a great addition. We have insulation, as in wool, because took it from the old explorers back in the day, or trappers. They'd use fur to line something as an insulation, and wool is the same concept. I'm sure they did a lot back then too. Overall, great setup. I'm gonna finish the roof neck. I'm gonna insulate that, and then I'll probably get like a propane stove in here or something, like an old-fashioned one, and it's gonna look really nice in here. So I'm excited for that. It's gonna be great. It's gonna look great, and we're gonna live in here all great. I'm gonna stay in here, wake up, and go over to the cabin site and work on that. It's pretty fun. Great little setup we got here. I can keep all my tools here instead of driving them back and forth, because it's hard to get to this side. I have to cross a creek or so. We got all the tools here. Normally I could stay at my parents' house, but that's pretty far from here. You got to cross a few creeks, and it takes a while. So I have to load up all the tools and then load them all back up. Now I got all the tools here, so it's good in that aspect. I can actually stay out here once I make it a little bit nicer, of course. It's great. It's very peaceful out here. I like it. It's nice. It's old-fashioned. Not an ounce of plastic in this room. Probably is plastic, but still, it's a great place. I really like it. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and follow for more, and I'll see you guys in the next post.
I appreciate you guys watching. Remember to remember to leave any feedback if you like these narrations and any critiquing points on how I should edit these videos. This is kind of new format, so I got to learn from it. Thanks for watching.